First of all, congratulations. I'm honored to deliver this message to the third generation of SUSI. Now, be prepared for long lectures, tight reporting deadlines, and serious forums. Just kidding. Anyway, all I want to say is have fun. You're going to have lots of fun. But at the same time, remind yourself of your purpose here. You're given this opportunity for a reason. Now, learn as much as you can, absorb as much as you can, and start thinking from now, and start thinking as you go along, as you learn and go through this wonderful experience. Think of how you're gonna take this back and benefit your home country as well as the people around you. Start thinking from now. And you're gonna be very inspired as you finish this program. And yeah, you will feel the fire. Don't let it burn out. Yeah, believe in yourself and go all the way. Don't let that fire go out. Yeah, it's that fire. Okay, so that's about all I have to say. And yeah, make it happen. All the best.
Hi guys, I'm the final batch of UC. I'm minted for Malaysia. Okay, let me introduce myself. I'm currently working in an environmental consulting company in KL, and I'm working as a assistant EIA consultant. I'm also an oceanographer. I go outfield. I work around the oil rig and I collect samples, and yeah, most of my works are reporting, but sometimes I have to go out and collect environmental samples to analyze it and bring it back to the commercial lab, and then I'll interpret the result. That's the major part of my work. Okay, it's been 2 years since UC. I've learned a lot, and I've gone through a lot of processes in life. So it's very amazing experience learning from our American friends. It was an eye-opening experience for me, and I think when you go through the journey, you will find a lot of interesting things to learn, and you can also bring it back to or whatever you learn, you can bring it back to your hometown, and you can implement it. So my message to you guys is be prepared, meaning that before be prepared meaning that you have to prepare whatever you need before the classes, like read the schedules and understand what's today today lecture. Yeah, so what you can do is you can try to relate the environmental movement in your country and try to you relate your environmental movement in your country and with the environmental movement in United States. So you can see how the differences, and also there are similarity in terms of the work that you guys are doing in US, in your hometown and US. So there are a lot of new concepts that you can learn here in United States. So bring it back to your hometown um, and make it happen. Yeah, and not to forget also to um, connect with each other when you go back. I mean, it's like what I mean, like try to keep in touch with your uh, keep in touch with with all the other SUSI members, and also keep in touch with the previous SUSI members, because we have an alumni that have everyone inside it. So we can give you advice, and we also can give you a lot of ideas on um, what we can do in your hometown. So it will be a wonderful experience for you guys. So I hope you enjoy it. Okay, that's all. Bye.
Hi, hello and aloha to everyone. So I'm Zul from Malaysia, second generation of SUSI. So anyway, congrats to all of you, 20 all of you. So congrats. So don't forget to have fun in Hawaii, and the best thing, learn as much as you can. So remember, there is only one Earth, there is no other substitute. So the most important thing, you have to learn hula dance in Hawaii. So, and the last and but not least, don't forget to buy this book. Got it? Bye. Mahalo.
Wim Ragwe. Everybody knows me like Smile. I'm from SUSI 2010. Actually, SUSI is just like a very nice event for my life, to meet new people, to talk about our experience in front of the people. Very wonderful event for my life as a youth from Burma. Um, when I was participated in SUSI, well, one thing is that don't remember where you are from and what you are going to do for your nation, for what you are going to do for your country. Just remember that, and keep going your studying, keep going your uh, doing fun. Hawaii is a very nice place to going around, and a very nice place, very beautiful. As for me, actually, I come from Burma, and I western part of the Burma, Rakhine State, but I was born there. I haven't seen ocean, but when I was in Hawaii, very beautiful ocean, and very nice, and also friends from SUSIs are really friendly and really helpful for me, because I hadn't got foreign experience. But when I was in SUSI, my friends from Thailand, Malaysia, Philippines are really helpful to going around. And they Benjamin, one of the friends from Benjamin from Malaysia, he's a really good friends, and he took us around the city. And when we went to Diamond Head hiking, it was a really good event for me, and I recommend you to go there. And don't stay in all the time. Just have fun, go out, and share your idea, and get other people idea, and build a very strong relationship. It is a very nice time and great time to build friendship, and extend our network and extend our horizon. And you will remember them when you go back to your state, when you go back to your country. Keep going, guys, and have fun there. And I believe that you will love to live in Hawaii and study there again. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, and welcome to SUSI. My name is Benjamin, and I'm from Malaysia. Studied in the University of Malaya, and I graduated last year with a degree in ecology and biodiversity. Welcome again, though I'm sure you've heard this welcome message many times from my friends and seniors in SUSI. But welcome, really welcome to the SUSI Ohana. And some of you know what that means. Ohana means family. I wish I could say that we are welcoming you into a fold of people who have done incredible things and changed the face of the planet and really made inroads wherever they are. However, I think for most of us, it's still very much an ongoing journey. And, we didn't come back from SUSI with all the power to change everything around us, least of all the people around us, immediately. But it was really encouraging to know that there are people besides ourselves who are keen and passionate about issues relating to the environment, sustainability, and so forth. And so, I guess one of the reasons why we're doing this and sharing with all of you is just to let you know, a reminder to ourselves as much as it is a message to you, that when you come out of SUSI, when you return home, wherever home may be, there's this whole network of people waiting to get in touch with you, who've got experiences that we'd like to share, and who would love to learn from you too, because your experiences are different from ours. You've seen things in the States that we didn't, and as the years go on, as institute after institute happens, I think we'll be richer for the experiences and the perspectives that we each bring to this table. And having said that, I'd also like to say that I think sometimes we come into a program like this, like SUSI, and the focus is on the environment. We think of things like preserving nature, wildlife, dealing with energy, population, demands, waste management, food security, and things like that. And all of that is good and fine, well and fine. But I can't help thinking, after all these months have elapsed and talking to people, that sometimes it's not just that. Sometimes it's other things as well, things like education, and simple things like how we live our lives, the kind of decisions we make. Like, I'm sitting in this room, and behind you see the air conditioner, and I'm just going to adjust this so that you can see the fan above me. And sometimes, every day in life, we make decisions, and I'm going to venture to say that each of these small, very small decisions, like even if it comes to whether you take your drinks in a plastic cup or in a glass or porcelain cup, whether you accept straws or whether you don't. Sometimes these little decisions that we make every day hit closer to home than anything you can discuss in a committee, anything you can talk about in a program like SUSI. I mean, I think SUSI was incredible in the sense that it gave us an excellent perspective of global environmental issues. But all of us are local people as much as we are global people, in the sense that our communities are really a lot simpler sometimes than, we're not responsible directly for 7 billion people on the planet. I mean, but each and every one of us, no matter where we live, we may meet on a regular basis maybe only 7 people. But our actions and the things we say and things we do, I think they make a difference. I mean, sometimes I think environmentalism is nothing very much more complicated than the simple act of, taking choices seriously, like when you buy fruits. I remember Lance asking this question once, and I think it's worth repeating. If you're buying tomatoes, that's American, right? I say tomatoes. you're buying tomatoes, and you have to choose, let's say, between local, non-organic tomatoes and imported but organic tomatoes. What do you choose? I mean, the cost of importing things definitely sets a much larger carbon footprint on the world than than buying things grown locally. But then there's the whole issue of pesticides, which affect waterways and soil organisms. So how do you make this kind of decisions? Of course, if you have local organic and you plant your own crops, that more or less that's a no-brainer. But most of us don't. Most of us rely on materials that are produced outside of our homes, independent of what we do. And I think the act of continuously asking ourselves why we do what we do, and also asking our friends, our family, the people we meet, I think this is one of the things that the world needs, things that communities everywhere need. And I'd also like to say that sometimes what works for one community doesn't work for all communities. It's possible that what you are doing, how the way you're living, is sustainable. It doesn't mean that you need to suddenly change your whole lifestyle just because you think that there's only one way to be sustainable. I mean, look, I think a lot of village houses in rural areas like the jungles of Borneo or India don't have LEED certification. And yet I'm almost certain that these small village houses have a much smaller carbon footprint and are much less a threat to nature itself, and it produces a lot less waste, for that matter, than LEED certified buildings. I'm not saying LEED certified buildings are a bad thing, but I'm just saying that sometimes things are not called environmental, sometimes things are not given the label sustainable, but they may be. And so I'd like to challenge you to look at your communities, look around you, ask yourselves the question, what are you doing right? And sometimes it's just a matter of realizing that you've got something somewhere, you've got something going somewhere. How do you make people realize that what you're doing has implications for the environment, both locally as well as all over the world, right? And lastly, that sustainability isn't just resources and the environment. It's also about heritage. I really think it's about heritage. I mean, you're here in Hawaii, and the first thing you probably notice is that it probably looks very much like some parts of Asia. I mean, with a large Filipino and Japanese population. And I think when I consider questions of the environment, I can't help but ask myself if what I'm actually interested in is the question of how things came to be as they are, where things are going, where we are going. And when you ask questions about the future, when you're trying to inform your futures or future-looking perspective, I can't help but feel that you also need to be aware of the past. And I was really grateful for things like this, like Stuart Coleman's book. Look at that. Just going to read it. Eddie Woodgo, and tells the story of Eddie Aikau, the famous surfer, and his selfless act of sacrifice to save the crew of the Hokulea. And then I realized from that moment on to the end of SUSI and even until today, and it's an ongoing journey of discovery, that environmentalism encompasses the question of things like people, natives and settlers, builders and destroyers, people who in the past have given us what we have today, and how we are part of that ongoing conversation of humanity in which everything we do will affect the people who come ahead of us, who will be going ahead of us, who have come. Sorry, who'll be coming on after us. Sorry, I'm not so coherent today. And when you think about that kind of thing, when you ask yourself, like, what are the elements of the past that have meant something to us? It opens a window into the values of the people who came before us. And at the end of all of this, when all is said and done, sometimes environmentalism is not just about things you do or don't do. I mean, if the world were a machine, well, that's all and fine. If the world were a factory, a company, that's all and fine. Well and fine. But the world is populated by living beings, and us, humans, are one of these living beings. And if you think of the entire world, past, present, everywhere, people distributed in time and in space, you realize that we're an ongoing, continuing story of family, of Ohana. And it's not so much what we do or don't do. It's not so much just a matter of what kind of materials we use or don't use. It's also very much about what kind of values we share and want to promote and want to continue to champion. And I think in getting a glimpse of how Americans, and in particular Hawaiians of the past, perceived the earth, perceived their duty to the earth and the duty to each other, I think I took back a lot from that. And I think that's what heritage, what environmentalism, what SUSI is all about. Realizing that you, though you are just one person, you are a part of this never-ending journey that humanity has been on since time immemorial. And that really is something that I think puts things into perspective. I mean, you're not just SUSI this year. You're not just preparing for people 10 years, 20 years down the line. But 1,000, 2,000 years from now, people will look back and say, oh, look, they did this. We look back 2,000 years and we see the Greek theatres, Greek philosophy, and those things have meant so much to us today. Where would we be without those? And if we think along those lines, what are we doing today that is going to count for the people of tomorrow? And I think we would have captured part of the ethos, the goal and the spirit of SUSI. So have a great time here. Bring all this back. Share it with your friends, your family, your teachers, your course mates, people on the street. And see you soon. All the best.
Hi everyone, my name is Nasha and I'm from SUSI 2010. Some words of advice for you guys. This goes without saying, but have as much fun as possible. SUSI is a really fun place to get to learn new things, to get to meet new people, to exchange ideas, and sometimes it really, really feels like a holiday. So remember that as much fun as you guys are having now, you're here to learn something, and make sure that you actually learn something. Bring something back to where you came from, to share with your friends, to share with the people around you. Learn something from all that fun, and to make full use of your time in SUSI, do your research beforehand, prepare for all field trips, for discussions, and you get to learn so much more than you would actually be learning. And don't waste all your money at Walmart. As tempting as it may seem, try to do other activities such as snorkeling, diving, jungle trekking, and remember that you're all here for a reason. It's to give back more than to receive, and your journey doesn't end here. In fact, it's just only beginning. Make a change in the places where you came from. If you want to see a change, be the change that you want to see. Find motivation and inspiration Find inspiration every day, inspire the people around you, and get inspiration from the people around you. Keep the fire going, guys!